Are you guys serious?
Can you do me a favor? Step back like 3 steps, sir.
3 steps?
Yes, please.
Eins, zwei, drei. Hey, why are you guys covering your faces? I mean, if you got to cover your face, you're doing something wrong, right? COVID's over with, right? The mask didn't work anyway. A mother, are you serious, guys? There's criminals out there. A mother.
In a bold and decisive operation, ICE agents sealed off the Phoenix train station, deporting over 1,300 illegal migrants in one coordinated sweep. The goal, to restore order at key transit hubs and uphold U.S. immigration law. This action, carried out without delay, was designed to safeguard communities and disrupt unlawful networks. While some critics push back, the message is clear. Illegal entry will face consequences, and border enforcement is back on the national agenda.
We've seen the videos, hundreds of migrants boldly breaking into the United States, Valley churches struggling to keep up as thousands of men, women, and children are dropped on their doorstep, and at the Phoenix Greyhound station with nothing but a court date. Over the last few months, we've been trying to talk to ICE officials about this immigration crisis. Now, a top Phoenix official is finally answering all of our questions and explaining this surge in the number of migrants released into our communities. ABC 15's Sonu Wasu has the interview.
These daily migrant drop-offs are putting a strain on the community, especially the churches, who have been struggling to find volunteers and resources to help the migrants who are being bussed into Phoenix by ICE officials and being dropped off outside the Greyhound bus station off of 24th and Buckeye. It's been happening almost every day since September. Right now, there's just no end in sight. This is video we shot just a few hours ago. Migrants who have just been dropped off outside the Phoenix Greyhound bus station.
ICE's core mission is to protect Americans and uphold lawful immigration. With growing concerns over national security and migrant surges, the Phoenix train station operation was a strategic move. This location has long been exploited by those bypassing legal entry, and ICE's action sends a clear signal. Enforcement is returning to the forefront. Targeting this hub wasn't arbitrary, it was necessary. These high-impact operations dismantle transit routes used to avoid detection and reestablish control over who crosses U.S. borders.
I can tell you from December 21st of 2018 to March 5th, 2019, we've released about 14,500 families in the state of Arizona.
It's putting a big strain on Border Patrol and ICE. They're pulling agents off other jobs to help process migrants, and they have no choice but to release many of them back out into the community.
ICE only has available for family detention about 3,000 beds. There's 0 beds in Arizona. The closest beds are in Texas, and then the other one is in Pennsylvania.
Also, because of a court order known as the Flores Settlement, ICE officials say they cannot detain anyone traveling with a child for more than 20 days. They have to be released. This is what's leading to these daily drop-offs of migrants flooding into the valley on big white buses. Henry Lucero, the ICE field office director in Phoenix, tells us, despite media reports he has heard, most of the migrants they talk to tell them they're not here to seek asylum.
ICE isn't just enforcing law. It's preventing chaos. Every undocumented individual removed is one less strain on public systems. These aren't abstract numbers. They represent real impacts on schools, hospitals, and communities. Mass deportations like this reduce risks tied to unknown identities and reassert legal standards. Americans across the country support this because it protects neighborhoods and preserves opportunity for those who follow the rules. This isn't about politics. It's about safety, order, and respecting the rule of law.
Telling us about what started the protests last month in Phoenix against ICE agents. He says the feds dropped cases suddenly, so ICE agents came into the building, detained them, and then walked them out to an unmarked van outside. There, protests erupted with pushing and shoving.
People say, why don't they get in line? Why don't they do it right? Well, people going to court, people filing U visa cases.
Illegal migration also undercuts America's economy. Workers without legal status often operate in the shadows, accepting cash wages that depress industry standards. When ICE acts swiftly, as they did in Phoenix, it helps restore fair pay and jobs for legal residents. These operations aren't just about borders, they're about wages, taxes, and integrity. Deporting those who entered unlawfully sends a clear message that the system can't be gamed. It reinforces the importance of legal pathways and protects America's workforce.
Today I had 3 hearings, okay? We went to the hearings, we did what was supposed to be happening. That's what we want.
As violence erupts in Los Angeles, he says the temperature needs to be taken down. Even as an immigration attorney, he says there is a problem and enforcement is needed, but says court is not the place for it.
It is true. Under President Biden, they were way too lax. I talked to a lot of people who came to see me, a week, a month after they had arrived here, and I said, how many questions did they ask you about what your well-founded fear was? And they said, none.
None. They didn't ask any.
Didn't ask any, and then they were allowed in, and I thought, this is not good.
Targeted enforcement is critical for public safety. Phoenix has seen its share of migrants with criminal backgrounds, violent offenders, traffickers, and fugitives hiding in plain sight. ICE's actions remove these threats before they escalate. The Phoenix raid wasn't random. It was the result of intelligence and risk assessment. Deporting criminals strengthens communities, prevents future harm, and makes clear that breaking U.S. laws has consequences. The safety of American families must come before political theater or activist outrage.
5% of them have said they don't fear returning home. I would say 100% of them are coming for a better life. And some of them surely are fleeing some things. Whether that merits asylum or not is up to an immigration judge.
So is there an end in sight to this mass migration into our communities?
I would think it's going to continue until there is congressional action.
Real immigration reform or changing the law to ensure migrants stay in custody until they're set to appear in court could stop that. But both appear to be a long shot right now.
Americans overwhelmingly support strong border enforcement, and ICE is answering that call. With every busload deported from Phoenix, ICE shows it is prioritizing security, not ideology. Illegal immigration brings costs, from public housing shortages to school overcrowding, and voters have had enough. This raid reflects that urgency. ICE is taking action where others hesitate, with the law and the people behind them.
Stay calm, stay calm. Calm down. Isis, can you go live?
Is this what you guys do? That's my father, man.
Illegal labor drives down wages and distorts the job market. At Phoenix train station, ICE's operation sent a message. The U.S. workforce belongs to legal residents. Mass deportations protect wage integrity and restore competition for American workers. As the economy tightens, ICE is stepping in to level the playing field. This isn't just immigration, it's economic justice.
This is very similar to what happened in El Paso, Texas.
Nearly every seat is full inside the Phoenix Greyhound bus station. While some of these people are regular passengers, tonight they're joined by between 60 and 80 migrants seeking asylum.
These people have been in the detention centers. They spent the Christmas in detention centers.
ICE had been sending migrant families to Valley churches once they're released from custody, where they get a meal and a place to sleep before they travel to reconnect with relatives already in the States.
They don't understand how our society really works. They don't understand English, so you have to teach them everything.
Since October, those churches have helped 10,000 migrants. But activists explain those churches are getting tired and need a break.
Deportation is also about national security. Illegal entry often skips critical vetting and background checks. ICE's removal of over 1,300 individuals from Phoenix reduces risks tied to criminal activity, gangs, and trafficking. Many detained had prior offenses or no known documentation. In a time of rising threats, border enforcement is a national imperative, not an option.
The churches are at capacity or they're tapped out. And this is problematic because now where are we going to place these folks? We need churches. We need more churches to open their doors so that they can allow these folks to stay maybe 1, possibly 2 nights until their travel arrangements can be made.
Tonight, a handful of migrants were taken from the bus station to smaller churches for the evening. But the majority will sleep here while they wait for their bus.
Want to?
Yeah. Volunteers helped make sure they had something to eat.
Some of these travel times are going to be possibly over 12 hours, 24 hours, and they need something to eat on their way.
The Phoenix train station raid drew swift attention, but not just from news crews. Human rights groups voiced concerns, questioning whether large-scale deportations can balance law enforcement with fairness. Yet, ICE insists the operation followed legal protocols, targeting those without status who had exhausted options. While some detained individuals had lived in the U.S. for years, officials stress that presence alone doesn't equal permission. Calls for reform continue. But ICE maintains that protecting national security and enforcing the law must remain the top priority, especially at public transit hubs where unlawful crossings often go unchecked.
That's an illegal alien being arrested by ICE. He'll then be taken to a detention center like this, where he'll probably get deported.
He has at least 2 arrests by local law enforcement, arrested by Washington State Patrol in 2024.
We're just picking this guy up before he goes to work or what?
It depends on the situation, but more than likely, yeah.
Driver sort of looked like him, but his brother looked similar.
He didn't look like that guy had a goatee.
Hard to say, they look like facial hair when you drove by.
It's a bad day to have a goatee. All right, the arrest is happening as we speak. They're confirming the ID of the suspect.
If it is, then they'll be arrested.
He's not opening the vehicle. Looks like they broke the glass. Suspect is under arrest.
Every day, I work good every day. I know bad day.
Agents are taking him into custody.
Why are you being taken right now?
Well, no, man.
You have an attorney.
No, I don't have. I need to call my wife, please.
What country are you from?
From Mexico.
ICE says you're here illegally. Is that true?
Tap here to see what he's.
Federal immigration officials say that they arrested 200 people suspected of being in the country illegally during Thursday's operation at that cannabis farm. Fox's William LaJeunesse has more.
Hundreds of protesters clashed with federal immigration agents in Southern California on Thursday as ICE and Border Patrol agents conduct raids on 2 licensed marijuana farms in Ventura County, where officials found 8 unaccompanied minors, all here illegally. Agents deployed pepper balls, tear gas, and flashbangs.
People are welcome to protest to have their First Amendment rights grew up, but they can't cross that line. They can't impede us from doing our job. That's a felony. They certainly can't put hands on an agent.
The scene became increasingly dangerous when one protester appeared to fire a gun at agents. The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. California Governor Gavin Newsom responding to the incident, saying the Trump administration tactics, quote, evoke chaos, fear, and terror within our communities. This as we await a ruling by a federal judge in California.
ICE's crackdown at Phoenix sends a clear warning. Unchecked illegal migration won't be ignored. Without strong action, America risks spiraling into a crisis of lawlessness and open borders. Deportation operations like these stabilize overwhelmed systems and remind the world that the U.S. still stands for law, order, and controlled immigration.
Necessary. Okay, all I'm saying is let's be reasonable, all right? Low-hanging fruit, meaning people with no criminal history, people who are showing up to court, people who are demonstrating peacefully. Let's allow law to rule.
This deportation wasn't just a one-off, it was a declaration. ICE is reinforcing its presence and its mission: protect American families, preserve jobs, and restore immigration control. Raids like this one prove that illegal crossings have consequences, and the people who enforce the law are no longer being ignored.